Hello everyone, it's Richard here again with my thought for the day. This time about stupidity, which is bit of a contentious subject. Now, what I mean by this is something that George Orwell said, I believe. Basically, if you don't have a concept in mind, if you don't know about certain things, you literally can't think about them. Which may seem obvious when you hear it, but it's actually quite difficult to bear that in mind. And the schooling in this country and elsewhere is really quite poor. There's huge gaps in terms of how government works and how newspapers work, for example. So I met people, adults, who thought or assumed that the newspapers had to tell the truth, and therefore assumed the statements about immigrants and all the implications about what the government was doing and so forth were valid, when they weren't. And so their behaviour, as a consequence, might be objectively bad, might be harmful to themselves or others, simply because their beliefs were misplaced, erroneous ones. And that's because they didn't have the constants in place, and so they make things up. I've studied this, how we think, and how we learn, and how we solve problems since age of 10. So it's amazing to me just how profound this all is, but it still occurs in life. You get, I mentioned before, people who don't know what to think because they've not been taught to school properly. So then assume the masses are correct because they believe they can't or be wrong. And there's a fundamental belief that is actually false and very dangerous and results in mass behaviour, which is itself dangerous. The whole thing is really quite horrific. Now, to call behaviour stupid or idiotic is perhaps a bit loaded in emotional terms, but it could be accurate. I myself have been very, very ignorant about social behaviour for many years. I was left floundering and not knowing what to do with people, quite puzzled and stressed. And other people were just so puzzled as to why I didn't know things, and just couldn't believe that I didn't know how to do things. It's just quite profoundly disturbing in a way. They didn't call me stupid as such, but they might have thought that, or at least bewildering, a bit odd. And yet, if you get people who do things against their own interests, like Brexit, for example, one might legitimately call that stupid, by an objective measure. And it happened because people, many of them, believed the bullshit and the lies and didn't know how to think otherwise. This is the point. So you get people who say, well, you object to wearing masks during the pandemic, didn't understand those. I met people at the time who thought the idea was to protect them from other people. But no, it's to protect other people from them. It's basically to stop the air being expelled from the mouths directly towards somebody's face, and therefore presenting with a viral load. I wish that to be correctly, but I'm sure that's the case. Because if you think about it, when you breathe in, you can't actually stop. That's what will stop you breathing in particles from the air. But it might stop you breathing out into someone else's face. So again, that goes wrong, and the people wearing it in cars for no reason at all. In close space, you're like, what? I've encountered many people of my time, especially during the 80s and 90s, had chats about particular behaviour, and their beliefs are just stunning sometimes. It's so hard to comprehend how they got them. But it's, it's down to poor education in the end. Even the toffs don't know science and don't care about it. Really quite shocking. And so we now get the stupid behaviour of all. Basically, bugger all about the climate emergency, the catastrophe. So, thank you for listening, and share and comment and like or dislike or feedback or something. Thank you. Bye.